From the Huns to the Gokturks, emergence of Turks on the historical stage. In our previous exploration, we traced the origins of the Turks through the earliest epochs of human history. Now, we arrive at a pivotal moment when communities bearing the name and identity of Turk begin to appear in written records: the Huns and the Gokturks. The Huns, a nomadic Turkish people, emerged in the 3rd century BCE in Central Asia, particularly around the Altai and Tian Shan mountains. Initially a confederation of disparate tribes, they united under the leadership of Mete Khan, who overthrew his father, Teoman, in 209 BCE to establish a centralized state. Mete Khan's most enduring innovation was the decimal system, which organized the military into disciplined units of 10, enabling swift and effective warfare. Preserving their nomadic lifestyle, Mete strengthened the Hun army with mounted archers, securing military dominance. His victory over the Han dynasty of China at the Battle of Bai Deng in 200 BCE demonstrated Hun prowess, leading to peace treaties and tribute payments that bolstered their economic and political influence. Mete's leadership transformed the Huns from a tribal confederation into a structured state, reshaping Asia's power dynamics by subjugating or displacing neighboring groups. For instance, the Yue's westward migration, triggered by Hun pressure, influenced developments in Central Asia and India. Moreover, the Huns' conflicts with China shaped the Han dynasty's defensive strategies, including the reinforcement of the Great Wall. This early rise of the Huns laid the groundwork for the Great Migration, setting the stage for ethnic and political transformations in Europe. By the 4th century CE, the Huns split into eastern and western branches, initiating a massive westward migration driven by the harsh climate and geography of the steppes. This movement pushed other nomadic groups further west, from the Balkans to the heart of Europe, triggering political upheavals that hastened the fall of the Roman Empire and fostered the emergence of Europe's feudal structure. Under Attila's leadership, the Western Huns shook both the Western and Eastern Roman empires. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains in 451 CE marked their last major offensive, accelerating the collapse of Rome by spurring Germanic tribal migrations. Attila's campaigns between 450 and 452 CE saw Hun armies ravage northern Italian cities like Aquileia and Milan. As they approached Rome, Attila met with a delegation, including Pope Leo I. Though the details of this encounter remain unclear, Attila withdrew without besieging Rome, likely due to exhaustion, disease, and logistical challenges. A historical anecdote, though not definitively verified, merits mention: the iconic wolf salute, a hand gesture inspired by the Turkic wolf symbol and popularized in the late 20th century, may trace its origins to Attila's campaigns. Legend holds that when Attila's soldiers made this gesture upon entering Rome, Pope Leo I branded it a, quote, sign of the devil, banning it. The 4th and 5th centuries saw Turkish-named communities, alongside Mongols and other steppe peoples, leading confederations in Central Asia, Turan, and Iran. These groups conducted regular raids on settled societies while frequently warring among themselves. By the 6th century, a new empire rose to prominence in Central Asia, the Gokturk Khaganate. Founded in 552 CE by Buman Kagan, it was the first state to officially adopt the name Turk, marking a turning point in the evolution of Turkish identity from an ethnic to a political and cultural entity. Controlling much of the Silk Road, the Gokturks dominated east-west trade, showcasing their strategic and economic prowess alongside their martial reputation. The Orhun inscriptions, erected in the 8th century by Bilge Kagan, Kultigan, and Tonyukuk, are not only the earliest written records in Turkish, but also a profound legacy of state philosophy, governance, and political thought. The Gokturks forged diplomatic ties not only with China in the east, but also with the Byzantine Empire in the west, sending envoys to Constantinople in 568 CE, their first significant diplomatic outreach beyond Central Asia. This era, beginning with the Huns and institutionalized by the Gokturks, saw the Turks recognized globally through their armies, inscriptions, and diplomacy, emerging as central actors in global interactions. Yet, a recurring challenge faced by many Turkish states, first seen with the Huns, resurfaced with the Gokturks division into eastern and western branches. This fragmentation weakened both, leading to their collapse. In 630 CE, the Tang dynasty of China capitalized on Eastern Gokturk vulnerabilities, defeating them and capturing their Kagan, Ilig. The Eastern Gokturks fell under Chinese dominion, with Turkish tribes forced into subjugation. The Western Gokturks, grappling with Chinese pressure and internal revolts, succumbed to Tang control by 659 CE. However, in 682 CE, Kutlug Kagan, Ilteris Kagan, led a major rebellion against China, founding the second Gokturk state, Kutlug state, ushering in a resurgence of Turkish history. Despite this revival, the Gokturks fell in 744 CE to a rebellion by the Uyghur, Karluk, and Basmil Turks, with the Uyghurs emerging as the dominant power in Central Asia. The Uyghur Khaganate, rising after the Gokturks' fall, marked a significant shift as one of the first Turkish communities to transition from nomadism to settled life. Here, Professor Nuri Yurdasev's observation is pertinent. Western notions of civilization tied to urbanization derive from the Latin civic city, while Arabic and Ottoman concepts stem from Medina, city, reflected in the term Medeniyet. In Turkish, however, Uygarlik, civilization, draws inspiration from the Uyghurs, the first Turkish group to embrace settled life. Adopting Manichaeism and Buddhism, the Uyghurs prioritized written culture and art, advancing paper production, early printing techniques, and urbanization. Their architecture, artworks, and manuscripts foreshadowed the multifaceted development of Turkish culture, laying the foundation for the urbanism of later Turkic Islamic states.